What's up guys, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing part 4 of A Monument to All Your Sins, which is complete every level of Halo Reach on Legendary difficulty by yourself. So start up this mission, this is Tip of the Spear. We're going to start by going to the left over here. We're going to ignore all of the enemies for the most part in the first encounter here. So hop up on this rock, and then we could jump up here, and we could actually run along the cliffside, and we're pretty safe over here. And then we want to get up behind this rock here and poke our heads out and take out this fuel rod turret that is closest to us. So duck back if he starts shooting at you, and then he'll stop, and you can poke your head out again and try again until you get him. And then we'll take out the one that's a little further back to the right over there. And once you do that, you can actually move forward, and you'll be able to get the Pelican to come in early. So once you take out those two fuel rod turrets, the Pelican comes in and drops off the Warthog. Keep an eye on those fuel rod turrets, though, because grunts will get in there again and continue shooting at you with those. And that would not be great if you got hit with one of those, or the Warthog gets blasted off the cliff sometimes if you let them get in there again. So just keep shooting them as they get in. Sometimes the elites get in. There's one elite, and you want to shoot a grenade launcher at him if he hops in. So just grab the Warthog as it's dropped off by the Pelican and drive away, and we could ignore all those first guys. And then the 3 skirmishers are up ahead here, so we take those guys out with our DMR. Then we kill the Marine, unfortunately, and we'll just lay into this anti-air turret from the back of our Warthog here. You don't want to go any closer because there's a bunch of enemies up ahead. If you do, and back here, we could take out the turret just as easily and much more safely. So that's what we're doing here. And the reason we killed the Marine is because if you actually just ask him nicely to get out of the turret, he'll get out of the turret and let you get in, and it'll be great for a few seconds, but then he will actually get into the driver's seat and drive you up to the battle up ahead of us here. So we don't want that. We want to just hang back here nice and safe, and you'll know when it's about to blow because you get a checkpoint. And you can stop firing at that point. There's also kind of a little sound that plays that kind of indicates it's about to blow up. So just kind of shoot until you get a checkpoint. You can tell it's pretty damaged because it's kind of sparking and smoking and everything. It'll blow up. And you want to hang here. You don't want to move forward just yet because there is kind of a scripted segment that happens now. You can see the big ship on the left over here moving in. And there's also going to be 3 long swords that just shoot overhead. You can see those 3 ships just flew down. So that is our cue to move over here to the right. And we're going to hang over here. Once we get up around the bend here, so we'll just kind of hang here for a little bit, and this will get a Pelican to come in and drop a bridge over the gap up ahead so we could drive over it. And the reason we kind of hung back there for a little bit is because you could see that Phantom is there, and if you actually don't wait there, a Wraith will come in under that Phantom. For whatever reason, if you're not in this load zone, by the time the Phantom comes in, it actually despawns the Wraith for whatever reason. So that just makes it easier to just drive on to the next section and not have to worry about getting gunned down by a Wraith. But there are 3 skirmishers that are shooting at us, so you could decide to kind of stop the hog and just kind of get out and take those guys out quickly with the DMR. I decided to just drive past them, so however you're feeling. But then there's 3 skirmishers up ahead here. I took those guys out. No real reason why I decided to take them out and not the ones previously. But it's obviously much safer if you just, take a little bit of time and take them out before you drive past. And we'll just move up ahead here. There's a health pack down to the left on the side of the road here. So we could grab that, and we'll move forward. And we're actually not going to take a left up ahead here like you are intended to play through the level. We're just going to go straight, and we'll kind of get up behind the enemies that are on the bridge here. We'll be able to more easily take these guys out with our DMR. So we're going to park our hog right up against the wall here, and we're going to hop onto the hood of the hog, and then we're going to jump up onto the rock, and you can take these guys out from far away. They're kind of distracted because there's a bunch of Marines across on the other side of the bridge. So you could actually kind of take them out from the side, which makes it easier. Especially these jackals, they kind of don't really have their shields in the correct spot for them to be protected against us, at least. They're protecting themselves from the Marines over there. So we're going to move forward. You can take these guys out with headshots, of course. That would be preferable. And then we're going to move to the other side of the bridge real quick because there's some DMR ammo over here. So we're just going to grab that, and we could stock up on some of that ammo. There are more health packs over here, so take a look around if you are finding that you need some more health, even though we just grabbed some. Well, you might take some fire from those grunts and jackals if you get too close and don't efficiently take them out. So more health packs over there if you need it. And we'll jump up here, go up the stairs. There's going to be 2 skirmishers that come around the corner here. More health on the wall here too, so tons of health in this area. And we'll just kind of go over here. I'm going to grab that plasma grenade. And to the right of the base of the stairs down here, there's going to be an I-beam. We're going to jump onto that, actually. We're not going to go up the stairs. And we could jump onto that, and then we'll jump onto the I-beam to the right of it. And then we could jump up onto the rock wall over here, and then we'll be able to kind of hug the right side of the wall and jump over that pipe, go under this pipe, and we'll be able to kind of keep hugging the wall and move forward and skip all of the enemies above us. And it despawns some of the enemies in here, as well, but we're going to find that there's 2 jackals up on top of these stairs. So you could either throw nades at them or fight them, shoot them, or you could just run past them. It depends on if they see you or not. So just kind of run past them real quick, do what you got to do to get behind them, and then we'll kind of go down here, grab some more health, and there is a plasma launcher, which we want to grab too. So you have a DMR and a plasma launcher at this point. And right here, we're going to grab a Revenant, and then we're going to speed down to the next section. There are some enemies kind of scattered in the rocks on either side of the area here. We're just going to move past them. I like to try to splatter that elite sometimes, but he was not in a good position to do so in this playthrough. And we're going to drive our Revenant over the cliff here to make sure that we could use it later if we want. And then we'll go up on top of this pillar. If you try to jump on top from right in front of the pillar, you can't make it. But if you back up a little bit, you get up on a higher area, so you could actually make the jump onto the pillar and then kind of hop across the pillars, and we'll be able to get to this Warthog and turn to the anti-air turret over here, and it actually takes it out really quickly. So you should be able to take it out a little more than halfway through an overheat cycle for the Warthog chain gun there. So grab more DMR ammo. There was some up at the top by the Warthog. Right in front of the Warthog was where you will find that DMR ammo, so we have full DMR now and a plasma launcher, and we're just going to take out all of these guys as quickly as we can. It doesn't matter how quickly you take them out, actually. I take it back. You just slowly and surely take these guys out, and we'll be able to move on to the next section after a little bit of time here. So there's a bunch of jackals. There's a bunch of grunts up ahead here. There's some skirmishers. So you could headshot all of those guys. The jackals, if they're facing you, just shoot them in the little notch on the side of their shield. It will get them to kind of stagger, and they will get their shield out of position, so you'll be able to shoot them in the head more easily. For these hunters, this is why I like to grab the plasma launcher to take out these guys. They're going to be distracted by the Marines at first. There's a group of Marines that are dropped off on the other side here, but they will probably not survive, so you'll have to deal with these guys solo eventually. So while they're distracted, I like to hopefully take out some of the hunters, or one of them. There's only 2. So you can see I was shooting at that hunter in particular with a DMR because he was just not paying attention to me at all. He had his back to me, and he had his back armor taken off from that plasma launcher, so I could get some good damage on him with just the DMR there. But it looks like we pretty much only have the 2 hunters left. Sometimes the Wraiths are still active. It depends on a lot of RNG. Sometimes the Marines take them out. Sometimes they back off the cliff and kill themselves. So you might have 2 Wraiths to deal with, and at that point I would probably focus on taking those guys out with the plasma launcher instead of the hunters. And then you could deal with the hunters in different ways. You could use a Revenant if you're good at driving. It's tough to kind of splatter these guys. You can't really get a good amount of damage on them with just splattering them. And you could try to knock them off the cliff, but it's risky because you might drive off the cliff yourself, and they could always just punch you in the right in the front of the vehicle as you're splattering them, because they're pretty heavy themselves. So ideally you don't want to go the splattering route for those guys, or the pushing them off the edge. It is an option though if you want to do that, but you could actually go back to this Warthog over here, and we could park it very far away, and you'll be able to get some damage on them without them being able to return fire, because you're so far away, you're kind of outside of their range. They know you're over there, but we're going to park it kind of on the opposite side of this section that we're in right now. We're just going to hop up here like we did previously, and we'll just drive it off this structure, and we'll be able to go to the next, or not the next area, but the other side of this area. And feel free to drive it better than that. I kind of flipped over as I came off of that thing. But we'll just go over here, and there's more ammo over here. There's a grenade launcher by that downed Falcon. There's some not carbine. There's no carbine in this game. It's a needle rifle. There's needle rifle ammo in one of the Covenant crates over here. So a lot more ammo over here if you need it. And you can see that you could shoot this guy from far away, and he's not going to fire at us. He is aware of our position, and if he does get closer, you probably want to move because he will start firing at you. But generally, he stays over there. I'm going to actually skip ahead here because I'm just going to show that the Falcon will come in even if you don't kill all the enemies. Even if you kill none of the enemies, the Falcon will still come in after a set amount of time. So you can actually do that if you want to not kill anybody. But I do recommend killing a good amount of them because of the fact that if you don't kill any of them, there will still be a bunch of enemies up at the front here by the Falcon where it lands. So they might take you out while you are, walking to the Falcon over here. Or even when you get on the Falcon, they might take you out because you kind of sit there for a few seconds, kind of vulnerable. So we're going to get into the Falcon, and we can see the Hunter is still here. So we're going to take him out with the turret, since we have a Gauss turret now. Feel free to use that if you have any remaining enemies so they don't fire at you. So we took out that Hunter. No one else is alive over here. We could focus on the next section now, which we're going to fly to. And George has a turret sitting across his lap, and he does not contribute at all. So I'm kind of a little upset about, his contributions to the Noble Team here at this point. Well, we'll do it all, I guess. We'll do all the heavy lifting. We got a Gauss turret. I guess it's a little better than his, but we're going to focus on these infantry that are trying to come across the bridge on the right side, and then we're going to fly over the bridge, and we'll be able to shoot at these turrets. You can't shoot at them directly right away, but you could shoot behind that tree to kind of get some splash damage on them to start off, and then once you fly over here a little more, you could shoot at them directly. Then we want to start shooting just over the top or just past these kind of two small buildings up ahead here. There are some elites kind of hanging out there, so we could get some damage on them to start. And then we want to shoot the sniper turret if we can, and then we'll be able to turn our attention to the Wraith as that comes into view. And there's a couple more shade turrets after that, so those are the priorities. You definitely want to take out the sniper turret, the shades, and the Wraith as quickly as possible because they have the biggest guns. And then your next priority is the elites, and then we'll be turning our attention to the jackals and grunts who don't really matter that much at all. So just take those guys out last if you have a choice. And then we'll be able to take a nice smooth ride to the dome shield over here, the spire. And you can see I took out that Wraith from far away, but he was not paying attention to us at all. So not necessary, but a fun thing to try out. And then you'll get a cutscene where you crash down into the spire, grab some health as you spawn in, and we'll move up to the right side of the map here. We're going to hug the right side. There's a lot of rocks and pipes up ahead here on our left, so we'll just make sure we keep those on our left so we use them for cover. There's a lot of skirmishers and grunts in here, and most of them won't fire at you. So you might even move up here without taking any damage, but sometimes you might take a little bit. But it's pretty safe, this route. And then we'll move up and we'll jump on this rock, and then we'll jump up to the right, and then we will make our way to the spade vehicle up ahead here. So just hop in here, and then we'll be able to drive down this path, just follow the road straight to the doorway in the spire down below here, and then we'll be able to just bail out, and then we'll go up this gravity lift. And the last group of enemies up at the top are going to be a group of grunts along with a sword elite. We're going to take out the sword elite before he has a chance to do anything, really. He's going to be at the computer console doing something, and then he'll draw his sword. But we're going to hug the left as we come up here, and then we're going to just sprint at this point, and then we'll be able to come up behind the elite, like I mentioned, before he has a chance to draw his sword and do anything. And then we could grab his sword and take out all of these grunts in the area. You could see they're kind of running around all freaked out because we took out their leader. So you could take that opportunity to grab the sword from the elite and then slice them all, and you will be able to activate the console at the end there that the elite was standing at. That will trigger the cutscene, and that is the end of the mission. So that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you next time when we tackle Long Night of Solace on Legendary. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You could also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you could find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.